It is Tuesday morning, 10:35 in the AM Eastern Time, and that means it is time for another Shakespeare's Coffee Break. Good morning, friends. I'm your friend, the neighborhood Shakespeare, and I am on my coffee break. I would like to thank the Jackdaws for this amazing music that they have provided to us. Been listening to over the last year. We're approaching a year of doing this show, and that makes sense. Everyone's celebrating or mourning 1 year since the lockdowns began, but that's okay because we are here together. We have an amazing guest for you today. Our special science correspondent, Janine Rinker, is waiting in the wings. But I know why you're here. You are here for my amazing co-host, the delightful, the talented mayhemmer.
Oh, stop it. They're here for you. I'm just lanyap.
I am going to switch headphones here for just a moment because apparently I can't hear jack squat. I mean, I hear you a little bit. I was hearing you perfectly like 3 minutes ago.
Oh no! Okay,
no,
hold on.
It's entirely on my side. I can guarantee because the music is also scratchy to me. Unless the music is scratchy to you. Is the music scratchy to you, May?
No.
All right, yeah.
No.
In that case, it's entirely on my side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch headphones. See if that makes any difference whatsoever. No, that did not make any difference at all. No.
It didn't make it. Oh, okay. Well.
No. So what I'm going to do, audience, you're seeing me do this in real time. You're seeing all of this play out for real. Shakespeare's having technical difficulties. How will he fix it? Well, here's the fun thing, Internet. I might not. That is the secret sauce of this show. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I can hear everything you're saying. Oh, echo.
Oh yeah, that's my fault because I just switched to speakers. But
yeah.
Now we're going to switch back to the AirPods and see if it makes a difference. All right. So the AirPod is back in my ear. Here we go. All right, May, go ahead and talk to me like a delightful and great human being person.
I can be a delightful and great human being person.
All right, yes. All right, that was still on my speakers, so it didn't switch you yet. There you are.
Oh, okay.
All right, now you're switched.
How about now? How about now?
So much better. So much better.
Yay! There you go.
And thank you very much, Sally. Jack could squat. Well done. And Kathy Evans, good morning over there on YouTube. Oh, goodness gracious. This is the quality entertainment that people look for in the morning. They're like, hey, it's been a year. Does he know how to do this yet? And the answer is vaguely.
Yes. Just say yes and nod and fake it till you make it. That's how entertainment works.
That's how this show has been happening for a year. It's like, hey, ta-da! Look, I added stuff in the background and a better camera sometimes. Yeah.
Look, I just got a backdrop, so
I'm loving it. I am here for it. I'm here for all of this. I'm here for all of this. Oh, May, let's start things off with a nice noisy coffee slurp. All right, or tea if you're drinking tea. All right, here we go.
Num
just good internet audio. I don't care who you are. All right. Yum. For my ASMR crowd at home, I want you to know I love you all very much. And you're making excellent choices with your life. Also, here is some crinkly right next to the microphone. I know you love the crinkly ASMR people. I don't know why I continually think this bit is funny.
You know what?
But I do.
Better than me. I don't know if I could be quiet if I tried. I'm from Louisiana. We all loud. So
yeah. I think that is one of those sweeping generalities that is actually true. Yeah.
We're all, especially New Orleans people, we loud. Like I don't know what to tell you, bro.
That is true. You I'm just gonna call you the Cajuns. You Cajuns are raging with your loudness and your bon vivants.
No. Down east, you got the Creoles. Central along I-10 corridor, if we're gonna do that. the central part of the I-10 corridor where Lafayette, Opelousas,
You
all that
just
is,
went
that's
real southern, real fast, and it's amazing.
sorry.
You're
My
like
bad.
down along the I-10 corridor.
I every now and then it slips out.
I love it.
But there's like the Acadians and all that stuff, and then you get to where my mama from, Southwest Louisiana, which might as well be Texas. That is the Cajuns kind of bleeding into where the Acadians are.
Is Southwest Louisiana, which might as well be Texas, is it arguable to say that Southeast Texas might as well be Louisiana?
Oh, they'll fight if they hear that.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I spent half my life about 30 minutes from the state line, so...
all I can say is, Texas, if you had just accepted a little bit of power from Louisiana, maybe your troubles last month wouldn't have happened. Just putting that out there. Yeah, and I know, it's weird to say, you know what, maybe our well-being does rely on Louisiana.
Dude!
And I know that sounds counterintuitive.
Dude!
But... listen, when Mississippi yells at you for your drinking laws, basically like we have standards in this. When Mississippi is yelling at you, you know, and you know the right. You've got issues.
No, they don't exist to us.
That's amazing. Oh goodness. This is amazing. So, going to our internet friends this morning. My father-in-law says I better get myself together. I better do it soon.
Wait, that's your daddy.
That's my father-in-law. Yep. Thank you very much. All right. But Donna Teresa, far more kind, says, "Stock raving genius. Thank you. I'm going to accept you. Only the positive critiques. Thank you very much." Kathy Evans has now switched over to Facebook.
Welcome to Facebook.
And Donna Teresa also says, "You're doing a brilliant job of nailing the proper Cajun Acadian Creole, potent cultural knowledge." Yep. My father-in-law also says
mapping. Yeah.
He thinks that we should give Texas back to Mexico.
I think so too, where it belongs.
So
my favorite part with Texas, because I did spend some time there when I see it's coming out because I'm talking about home.
All right, yeah, here we go, y'all.
And I hate it so much. It was funny because a lot of people yell, "Remember the Alamo?" I was like, "Didn't y'all lose that?" I'm like, "Why are we?
Yes.
Why are we?
Yes.
Didn't y'all?" Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm seeing a trend. Okay. Let me stop. I'm rude.
I'm like, there are so many things. I'm like, we don't have time to get into everything. Just
bro,
like we don't have time.
The Gulf Coast has become that meme from Aliens, except there's two breathing on her, and one's Texas, one is Mississippi, and Louisiana's like.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so
that's brilliant. I love it. Well, May, as you know, our guest today is our special science correspondent to the show, Janine Rinker. Everyone at home, you know her for putting in all amazing sorts of scientific factoids for whatever we're talking about, or just correcting us sometimes. And like, I'll yell, I'll be like, "How dare you bring actual knowledge into what I think is."
Let us be ignorant.
But Janine keeps us from going into that good night. And so I am dressed for the occasion.
Oh no!
Mayhemmer. Yes.
Why did I get the memo? Hold on, bro. Wait, no.
It belongs in a museum.
Wait, can I say the correct museum? Because I have several words about England's museum right now.
Well, just basically, it belongs in our museum. Are you sure? Maybe their museum over there. All right, like Egypt. You want to just give it to... No?
Wait, I love how England just holding on to a whole bunch of Greek stuff from like 4000 BC. I'm like, don't this belong in Greece? Why y'all got the whole actual Rosetta Stone over here?
And yet, it's amazing that Britain has the Rosetta Stone since it was Napoleonic French who uncovered it even. So it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, all right. You know what? None of this is good. I mean, like having the Rosetta Stone is, of course, good, but none of the rest of that is good.
Can I just say, I'm going to try and be soft. Can I just say that we apparently learned our stuff from somewhere. We're the apple that didn't fall far from the tree when it came from stealing from cultures. I'm just going to put that out
no.
there.
You are totally correct. But I got to say, with just how you said that, you sounded very NPR. Like, hello, you're listening to All Things Considered this morning. And,
oh my God, yes.
We're now going to be talking with our special science correspondent, Janine Rinker. So here on Shakespeare, All Shakespeare Considered Coffee Break.
Yeah, we'll figure out.
Please welcome special science correspondent Janine Rinker.
Hello.
Oh,
it's snowing here, but
goodness, where are you?
Wait, where are you?
In Colorado.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's
no.
Cool inside. So
how many? I was like, you got some layers.
Yes. So if I was actually doing field work, it would be May and it would be cold outside. Or it would be whenever it would be, and it would be cold outside.
You have so many layers going on here. All right. Now I'm worried that you're gonna disrobe too far, Janine.
I have a couple on, so I'm not worried.
Oh, goodness gracious. So
it's like y'all have matching shirts now. I'm here for this.
Oh, dun 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 dun.
Wait.
So
I might have a hat for this. Go ahead.
Look at me just shuffle off the side. All right. So Janine, what is your actual scientific area of expertise? If you only have one, and if you have multiples, then I'd love to hear it.
A bachelor's in microbiology and a master's in biology.
Oh,
but I
goodness
actually
gracious.
teach math, so.
And you teach math.
Yeah.
So where in Jurassic Park does that place you?
Probably a less shady, smarmy, whatever version of Ian Malcolm.
Okay. He was smarmy, but he did pull off that look of like lounging there, like with his shirt.
Yeah,
open,
just
yeah. I think the movie makes him
Chaos Theory
seem like a nicer guy than the book.
Oh yeah, in the book he's a total jackal.
He's rude. I hated him in the book. I was like, I can't do this. Can we go back to the movie?
So Sally Eldridge would like to know at the moment how much snow so far, Janine?
Oh, I don't think it's a lot. I'd have to go look out the window, but it's snowing.
Oh, and I must applaud my co-host for her Carmen San Diego look.
Yes, this is my Carmen hat.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to show your face if you're wearing that. Them's the rules. Yeah. It can only be there you go, right there. That's the angle right there. Yeah. All right, there you go.
Wait.
That's the that's the entire rest of the show here, folks. All right.
Here. Just done. I have the coat too over there.
So Janine, I have to ask, what attracted you to the world of the various sciences? I mean, because you're not just a practitioner, you're an aficionado.
So when I was young, my dad read dinosaur books to me, and before I learned to read, I was telling people I want to be a paleontologist when I grow up.
That's amazing. Oh,
yeah.
And for a while, I wanted to be a veterinarian, but microbiology was not a great choice of major for pre-vet. So anybody else out there that's pre-vet, don't major in microbiology.
Oh, all right. Why? I have to ask, why is that?
It's all human diseases. I don't care about human diseases. I care about animals. You know?
You know what? We know how the world goes. It's the same cycle. Can we get to the animals? I don't really care about
dinosaurs or dinosaurs, animals, people.
We had
definitely not at the top of the list.
We had a vet who, I swear, hand a baby Yoda. Our vet would not talk to me. Our vet would only talk to the cat.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Such as, oh, you need to lose some weight, don't you? Oh, yes, you do. All right, and it's like I'm standing here like, okay, so
you're
right,
taking
how
this
much?
like, okay, so
how much weight does he have to lose? Oh, right. So you're going to want to lose about you're going to want to lose about 4 pounds, aren't you? All right. So he needs to lose about 4 pounds. Yes, and you need to go on that special diet, don't you? And I'm like, all right, I am right here. This is going to be easier. I'm right here. And yes, but I totally get it though. Yeah, people suck. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. 2020 is not evidence of people sucking. I don't know.
But you're not wrong. So, Janine, what prompted you away from veterinary and away from paleontology?
Basically, I came back to Craig because I wasn't at CSU anymore. I started substitute teaching. I took a calculus class because that was the last thing for my bachelor's, and got recruited by the college. And so they started talking about, we found this dinosaur. And I thought, well, maybe that's our family dinosaur in Lily Park, which it wasn't.
Wait, family dinosaur?
So, yeah, the story is that my grandparents were out prospecting, essentially. And I think my grandma says, look, or maybe my grandpa, look, there goes a dinosaur across there. And they went over to that ridge, and there was a dinosaur. Because during the uranium boom, they collected a lot of dinosaurs for uranium ore. Unfortunate for the paleontology, but that's what they did. And we actually went out and looked for it, and we didn't find it. I think the next ridge that it was supposed to be on was parallel instead of in line with the one we were on, and that's why we didn't find it. But yeah, so I was at that time basically assisting in the math class, and one of the teachers started talking about, oh, they found this dinosaur. So of course I had to go and, see what's going on with this dinosaur. So that would have been 2015. And I took the class in 2015 and 2016. 2017, I was busy working on my master's, so I went out for community day, and that was it. 2018 and 2019, I was actually on the crew. And then this last year, pretty much we didn't do anything. Some of them went out and got the tracks, but they didn't invite me, so I didn't do that. I did take the prep lab during the fall, so I got some experience on that side of it too.
So at what point will you go out and become a full-fledged paleontologist, if that is actually still your path?
Oh, it's not really going to happen. But on the other hand, the question is, what is a real paleontologist? Because there are people who that's their career and they don't have a PhD. So
that's true. And and it was founded by the field was founded by amateurs. So
yeah. So famously, Jack Horner is one of the famous paleontologists who does not have a PhD.
He doesn't?
No.
Really?
Oh, really?
The basis for Dr. Sam Grant in Jurassic Park does not have a PhD.
Yeah, he doesn't have a PhD.
So Michael Crichton basically graduated him upward in the ranks of academia.
I'm sure if Michael Crichton was still alive, Jack would probably accept an honorary PhD from him.
If Michael Crichton, you know what? I was going to say if he could give it. He did give it in the books. And so, Jack, just go claim it. Just go claim it, man.
Take it.
Yeah.
I know you're watching right now. Go claim it.
That enjoy field work and don't necessarily do well on the academic side for various reasons, whether it's a learning disability or they're just not inclined to that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people that probably wouldn't go into science. And if we can get them in the field, then they're like, this is pretty cool. Maybe I can do some of the book work and the theoretical stuff.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I wish we had more of is that, some people learn differently. Some people, pick up things a lot differently. And if they just had the opportunity instead of being told, no, you can't do this because blah, blah, blah. There's different levels of intellectuality. Oh my God, I can't talk to intelligence. Yeah.
Yes, different types of intelligence.
Yes. Yeah. So, it'd be great if they're like, hey, try this out. And they actually might be really good at the hands-on part, and they just need someone to help them along in the theoretical and back end of things.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I see that getting probably worse instead of better in the science.
Oh, really?
I don't think Temple Grandin would necessarily be. So she's works in animal science and has designed various animal handling. You've heard of her, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
She's done work on autism as well. She's autistic. She probably wouldn't pass college algebra without a lot of extra help. She doesn't think that way, and it's really, really difficult for people like that to get into a science career because it's. You need this degree. You need this specific math class that's going to stop you.
Oh, that is such a genuine shame. Oh, goodness. Comment quick from the internet for us from friend of the show, Dan Wenzel. He says, considering Cope and Marsh of the Bone Wars were both doctors, he thinks that it's okay that modern paleontologists don't need to be PhDs. I don't get that one, but Janine does.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
hooray.
So, this was probably the 1800s, but in paleontology, we're looking at millions of years, so it was yesterday. And so basically, you've got Edward Drinker Cope, who comes from a less wealthy background and is in the field with his crew. So, you know, if he were alive today, I would be willing to be on his crew. He'd probably say, you know, we don't want a woman on our crew because it's the 1800s. And there's stories to that too. But O.C. Marsh is the one that had more of a wealthy background. And because of some of the things that they did, we have a lot of rules about how you can collect stuff and what you can and can't do, all the record keeping, because Cope thought he was going to Marsh thought he was going to get Cope on privately collecting when he was supposed to be working on the USGS survey. And Cope had excellent records and Marsh did not. And so that was kind of scandalous. The other thing that they found out, because actually Edward Drinker Cope is the type specimen for Homo sapiens. He requested this because they have one individual specimen of whatever plant or animal that's the type specimen. So he requested, after he died, that his body be made the type specimen for Homo sapiens. And they were like, well, maybe he had syphilis. We're not going to do this. And then later, more recently, no, he didn't have syphilis, by the way. They went ahead and made him the type specimen of Homo sapiens. They have his skull. They went on a field trip with his bones and eventually just the skull. And they said he had abscessed teeth. And he would have been probably kind of hard to get along with in his later years because those abscessed teeth would have been painful. Oh. But yeah, Robert Bacher, the other famous paleontologist of more recently, actually measured the capacity of his skull. And what he did, he took acini de pepe, that pasta stuff, and poured it in. And that's how he measured the cranial capacity on.
Oh my gosh.
Cope. So, all right. There's so much to unpack here. Also, hashtag science is weird. All right. And petty.
Very.
And
very.
Petty. Oh my gosh. Hashtag science is petty.
Yes, definitely.
So acini de pepe is the scientifically appropriate way for measuring brain capacity.
Well, it's a small granular stuff that you could pour in to measure volume, and I guess Bob probably had some on hand.
What about quinoa? Can we use quinoa?
If you had that.
Basmati rice. I don't know.
Whatever, anything like that you could use if you had it.
What's the next shirt happening? What is the next shirt happening?
That's
oh my gosh.
The actual dinosaur one. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, I love it.
Love it so much. Oh, Terrific. I have still in my bureau over that. I still have. What?
I'm reading the comment. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah. There's a lot. There's. So
yes.
But so my yeah, dynamite does make generally for poor paleontology. That is correct. So over in my bureau, I still have. Speaking of Tyrannosaur T-shirts, I still have a Jurassic Park T-shirt from 1992. I don't know why I still own this, but I
what
refuse
size is
to.
It?
It's small. It's an adult small, so I refuse to throw it out.
I'm over here. I don't even think they had Jurassic Park shirts for girls
in 92.
In my size.
Oh, maybe. Time. Yeah, I have no idea, but I'm afraid. Yeah, no, they did not have them for you. No, they were for serious children who wanted to see people get eaten off of toilets. That's exactly who they were for. That it was for me. Thank you. Go away.
How dare you, 5-year-old, think you're gonna go watch this?
No, this is for the 12-year-olds. Thank you.
I was very desensitized as a child, so I watched worse.
Oh goodness. So more into the dinosaur love, Janine. I have to ask, since you're wearing them on or her on clever girl on your shirt, is the Tyrannosaur your favorite dinosaur?
Oh no, Brontosaurus.
Oh what?
Brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus. So Brontosaurus. That is a fun. Oh my gosh, you couldn't have segued this better if we had tried and practiced. So the Brontosaurus was the one that every kid's like third favorite dinosaur within top 3 at all times for decades. And then, nope, sorry kids, it doesn't exist anymore. It was wrong, but now it does again. Give us the skinny.
Okay, so a sauropod is big, but their skull is only about the size of a football. So it's easy to not find the skull for various reasons. So basically, we have Brontosaurus, and I'm trying to get him in focus here. This is an older model that's supposed to be Brontosaurus. And so it has one skull, it has that name. Then we have controversy. Is this the right skull for the rest of the skeleton? And then we have Apatosaurus. And so Apatosaurus has a different skull, but it's just a nice proportionate sauropod, in my opinion. So this one's supposed to be Apatosaurus. And basically what they decided was, actually, one of those skulls that we had was the right one for Brontosaurus. So whoever names the species first, that's the name we go with. And sometimes it gets changed for some reason, but usually that's the name we go with. And so it was like, well, Brontosaurus is a junior synonym of Apatosaurus. In other words, we named Apatosaurus first, then we named Brontosaurus, we decided it's the same thing. This is more likely to happen than you would think because you're just working with the skeleton and maybe all you have is a leg bone. It's difficult to tell whether they're the same species or not. So we have more recent controversies over Nanotyrannus. Is it a different species or is it just young T-Rex? The other one is
that was going to be my next question. If how do you know if it's not just a less developed or more developed version?
So you can look at the growth rings in the bones. So if you think about you're familiar with tree ring dating, yeah. So it works like that with the complication that new bone can overgrow the old bone, so you don't always get all the rings to count. But basically, based on how developed the bone was, they said, yeah, Nanotyrannus is just young T-Rex. The other one that's controversial is Triceratops and Torosaurus.
All right. Torosaurus is which? I have to ask.
I probably have a trike over here in my Yeah. So
I love that you just play with dinosaurs.
I know, I'm here for that.
This is
so
amazing.
I mean, that's what you're gonna find if you, probably if you find a bunch of random paleontologists. Most of them probably have some toy dinosaurs, unless they're not dinosaur. Yeah. So, here's a Triceratops, and we're trying to get the frill in here, and I'm putting him. I can't even see him. Come on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So you can see the frill up here above his horns.
Yeah.
The bone actually develops holes in it, and that's Pterosaurus that has the holes, except it's really an older Triceratops is the consensus now.
Oh, so
I would say
okay.
the biggest divide in dinosaur paleontology is probably lumpers versus splitters. In other words, all of these are the same kind. No, they're all different kinds. And so you can probably watch Jack's TED Talk, and he'll tell you about, why Pterosaurus is Triceratops.
So Jack is a lumper then?
Yes.
Okay.
At least actually on several species of dinosaurs. So.
All right. A very serious scientific question coming in from my father-in-law. Some of his comments have nothing to do with the show. He's just kind of like shouting random things that he could just text at me. Just, by the way, you can just text me. You have my number. But this one is for you. Do paleontologists make their toy dinosaurs fight each other? The world needs to know.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, you're going to find some people that are very serious and, as one of my colleagues characterized them, boring. They have no life outside their little piece of discipline. But most paleontologists are not like that. The people I've met, they enjoy puns. One of the items that went very high at the SVP auction is the graphic novel, My Girlfriend is a T-Rex. So, of course, I had to go buy a copy for one of my colleagues. But yes.
That's amazing. And then Dan Wenzel says, lumpers versus splitters. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Oh, it's fantastic. All right, Janine, I'm going to move you up here for a bit so you don't get covered by comments when I bring them up on screen. Oh, goodness. So where do you sit on the lumpers versus splitters debate?
So I think you need a lot of information about that particular species or group of species, and I don't have enough information on it other than I would say it's been pretty well resolved that Nanotyrannus is T-Rex, and most of the evidence seems to be that Torosaurus is Triceratops.
All right, very good.
Okay.
All right, and now an important question that everyone here obviously wants to know. It was touched on by a couple of people in the comments, but I have to ask. So this is going to be a little bit of a journey of a question.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever been to Kentucky?
No.
All right. Have you ever been to Cincinnati, Ohio?
No.
All right. So directly across the river from Cincinnati, Ohio is Kentucky. And in that portion of Kentucky that is directly across the Ohio River from Cincinnati, Ohio, is the Creation Museum and the Ark.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Is that where that is?
Wherein you can find diorama and presumably life-size of statuary and animatronics. Can't forget the animatronics of Jesus, like the Jesus, riding a dinosaur. So with a Western saddle, not an English saddle, with a Western saddle. So now I ask you, Janine, what saddle would Jesus have used in your official capacity as a paleontologist?
What kind of dinosaur is it?
Well, there are several actually.
Wasn't one
What? No, I don't think I didn't see any of them with a T-Rex. One of them was it's a long-necked dinosaur that tends to run on two legs. I can't remember what its name. Basically, looks like an ostrich.
Like a Struthiomimus or something like that.
Thank you. Yes.
So whatever people use to ride those would be what you would use for riding ostriches. But I'm thinking the appropriate dinosaur to ride would obviously be a sauropod, and you'd want the thing you ride elephants, like a howdah or something.
Yeah,
for riding elephants. They're too wide for any saddle to be comfortable.
So then the next thing is, if you could ride a dinosaur, which one would it be? And there is a right answer to this.
I still think sauropods. I mean, I'm not in a hurry. They're big animals. I don't want something that's going to get mad and turn around and bite me.
All right. That's a fine answer. It's not the right answer. Sorry, it's not. It's not the right answer. The right answer, May, do you know the right answer?
I don't know. I'd want something that can eat my enemies as I wade through the carnage.
All right, that's a bit dark, and so no, that's the wrong answer. Fine answer, but wrong answer too. No, the right answer is a Triceratops. So you can Leroy Jenkins your way through battle.
Oh my God, I'm done with you. I want like
you just get on that Triceratops. I'm assuming it can charge pretty fast, and akin to rhinoceros.
No, this is what it
charge in.
Hold on, I want to.
Janine's like, what did I get myself into?
Hold on, this is what I want to look like. This is what I want to look like. Let me.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Let me show you.
At least you're closer in time to trikes than a lot of the other dinosaurs.
All right, that is so small of a poster, Mayhemmer.
Look, that's the biggest one I could find. Okay.
Oh my God, Mayhemmer. No. So we are closer to Triceratopses. All right. In that case, I win.
65 million years ago, for the end of the Cretaceous, which Triceratops is a Cretaceous dinosaur. 150 million for Triassic, I think. And so the first dinosaurs lived longer before Triceratops than Triceratops lived before us.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Now, let's engage in also a little bit of sci-fi level conspiracy theories here. Do you believe that it is possible that that some or all species of dinosaurs had some level of civilization akin to ours, but we have lost those civilized, what we would consider civilized-looking aspects, and only their fossils remain, but anything else that they had going on has just been lost to the eons?
So Troodon was getting to a point where they had fairly high brain to body mass, essentially.
Ooh.
And if we had not gotten hit with Lucifer's hammer, or what's the other one they call it? I think some of them wanted to call it Shiva, Destroyer of Worlds, the comet. If that had not happened, they might well have developed an advanced civilization.
Okay, all right, but they were here longer than we've been here, and we've been able to develop. So, like, basically, what gives? Like,
there's different pressures on different animals. So we talked about koalas a few weeks ago. Koalas have actually shrunk their brains. Their brain is smaller than would fit in their skull. The rest is just extra cerebrospinal fluid.
So koalas are humanity's future if we keep going on this current track?
Probably so. I mean, there is some trend of smaller brain size for humans.
Oh, God.
Something like a Neanderthal would have a larger brain, but wired differently. So you would have better learning at an early age in childhood. You'd pick up skills really well, but then you wouldn't develop the more complex thinking. Is the current thinking on that. So
all right. So we'd be a race of very capable morons.
Yes.
Like really good at data entry, but that's about it. All right.
Any kind of animal is going to develop based on the ecosystem and the pressures that are there for evolution. So domestic cats have smaller brains than wild cats of similar size.
And yet, I would argue that my cat is smarter than those cats.
They have neoteny, so they act more like wildcat kittens than adult wildcats. And humans probably have neoteny compared to gorillas or something.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you look at infants in other primates, and they're cute, and then the adults end up looking different.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of it is development after infancy.
Is that why elephants think that humans are cute?
Well, like yeah, puppies. I mean, if you have an animal that has parental care, then they should be cute. Even we're arguing this as far as Dungeons and Dragons. Do beholders have parental care? Well, if they have parental care, the babies will be cute.
All right. Also, I have to say, not all babies are cute. Some babies are. All right. I saw a commercial last night with a very unattractive baby.
Came out GQ.
They're probably generally cute to the parents.
Arguably, like I don't know. I feel like there are some parents who are like looking at that baby like, stupid baby. You know it's true. You know it's true. And if it's not you, you know someone. You know someone.
I think all children are cute in the eyes of the parents, so you can keep from eating them. Because
we're not going to eat them. We're just going to be like, you know what? Find a new family, baby. I mean, seriously. No, that's what's gonna. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but we are not a nice species. Yeah.
I don't know. My kids were GQ. My oldest came out with a whole job and 401k plan. That's how good he was. That boy walked out of my uterus. He was 8.5 pounds, 22 inches long at 3 weeks early. He had a whole He had to get out.
He had a whole thing going on.
I was like, he was a whole man, just walking out, hair, had 2 teeth already, ready to go.
Yes, sweet God. Well, here's a joke from Kathy Evans based on Janine, your last thing about beholders. She says, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, thus, beholders can be cute. We need to bring this up with Paolo, man. We need to bring this up with Paolo. Okay, so we're going to pause for just a moment to pay some bills here, friends. So Janine Rinker, special science correspondent, don't go away. We will return in just a moment. So, friends, I'd like you to support the show by please supporting our sponsors because very germane to this conversation, Shakespeare's Coffee Break is brought to you by Friends of the Colorado Northwestern Field Museum. And you're like, what? How is that possible? Well, it is. And here's the thing. It is, I kept the original card just so I can do this joke. It is the Friends of the Colorado Northwestern Field Museum, not the Friends of Colorado Northwestern Field Museum, because that one's just stupid. But it means they know people, and like they know people who know people. But no, it's the Friends of the Colorado Northwestern Field Museum, because they are supporters for the show, and they are doing summer dinosaur digs, germane to this conversation, now accepting applications for summer 2021. Now, while many people only dream of taking part in a dinosaur excavation through Colorado Northwestern Community College, that dream can become a reality. Located in the heart of dinosaur country, CNCC offers you the chance to work alongside professional paleontologists to uncover fossils that have been buried for over 74 million years. During a 2-week session, you will learn about paleontology by digging, brushing, and uncovering a unique fossilized specimen. There is no experience required to take advantage of this amazing opportunity, only a passion for experiencing fossils up close and personal. And of course, you need to remember, belongs in a museum. I just feel the need to do that right now. All right. Participants also have the option to earn college credit during this 2-week session. Now, for more information, email Liz Johnson at elizabeth.johnson@cncc.edu or call 970-824-1119 for more information. What will you discover this summer? And today's show is also brought to you by the Shakespeare Yogi. Leonard Chilingarian, the Shakespeare Yogi. Oh, excuse me, I beg your pardon. Leonard Chilingarian, the Shakespeare Yogi, is making yoga for creatives. Yes, both pay what you will classes, which are available on the first and third Sunday of the month, and private classes are available over Zoom. And you can use my code Shakes.approved for a 50% discount on your very first private session. She tailors individual artistic practices to the individual artist. So if you'd like to learn more information for access and payment info to the Pay What You Can and private lessons, email Lena, the Shakespeare Yogi, at theshakespeareyogi@gmail.com or drop into her DMs on Instagram at the Shakespeare Yogi. Hey, noni namaste. And finally, please support the show by supporting the Renaissance Stream Guide. The Renaissance Stream Guide is your TV guide of Renaissance Festival entertainment, with over 50 live streams featuring Renaissance performers. 50 live streams featuring Renaissance performers every single week, with more being added all the time. There is a Google Doc, and daily schedules are put up on the Facebook page. So go like and subscribe to facebook.com/Renaissance Stream Guide to learn more. Find your favorite performers and discover a new favorite too. Because during this really bizarre year, we are all in this together. And this community is becoming tighter knit than ever before, with performers from the East and West Coasts who never get to meet each other, finding each other through the internet and this special streaming period, and also us introducing our audiences to each other. So facebook.com/Renaissance Stream Guide. And now let's come back into the show with our special science correspondent, Janine Rinker, and co-host Mayhemmer.
There we go.
Muppet arms. What is happening over there, Mayhemmer?
I don't know. You said I couldn't show my face.
Oh. No, only if you're doing the Carmen San Diego thing. I mean, just.
I can grab my jacket. I have the jacket.
It's a cosplay hour. Why not? Yeah.
It is a cosplay. I did it at MarsCon with Paulo.
All right. So, Dan Wenzel has a question about the sciences here, and I know one of them kind of butts against the humanities, but he says, where is the dividing line betwixt paleontology, anthropology, which is regarding early hominids, and archaeology? Where's that dividing line?
So if it's human artifacts, remains, that's going to be archaeology. Anthropology is going to be primates that are recognizably humanoid, I'm going to say. So you can argue about whether or not Neanderthals were human, but they're human enough. They're definitely in the archaeoanthropo field. They're not in paleontology. So we do occasionally run across things in the field that belong to archaeology and not paleontology, and we report them to archaeologists. It's not our discipline to do that. We've had archaeologists come out on digs with us. It's good experience. It's very different running an archaeo dig than running a paleo dig. So I observed an archaeo dig when I was in college at CSU, and they had a buffalo jump, essentially, an arroyo that all these bison had been herded off in. They took, I don't know how many points of data for every single thing in there. And it's like, it's a bunch of bones that are randomly in there because all these bison jumped off in there. So I think they collect a lot more data for something like that for archaeo than we would for paleo. I mean, we do a grid and we mark where the bones were, but we don't collect that many pieces of information for everything.
All right. And so then in that, I have a follow-up question. If you're dealing with, say, early hominids of older than 250,000 years old, because I think the 250,000 mark is when Homo sapiens first stopped stepping onto the world stage, if I'm not mistaken. Yes? About
that's archaeo. I don't know that.
Oh, all right. So, but if you're dealing with hominids of, let's say, 1 million years old, is that anthropology or is that paleontology?
Potentially you might have either anthropologists or paleontologists or both working at the same site, I would think.
All right.
Because if it's hominids or hominins where they're recognizably on that evolutionary path that's going towards us and our relatives, then it would make sense to be anthropology. If you're looking at earlier primates that look like lemurs or something, then it would definitely be in paleo instead.
Oh, fantastic! And lemurs are considered primates?
I think so. There's certainly some primates that are those little arboreal critters. So
yeah, that makes me so happy. I don't know why. It just does. It makes me happy. Like, oh, hello, tiny cousin with a tail.
They're so cute.
They are, and they like crackers. I know because I have fed them to them. I know this from personal experience at a zoo.
You're like, take it from me.
Take it from me, the guy who's been to a zoo a couple of times. All right. So, in that case, vaguely silly, but also vaguely a serious question. So it splits the difference. Were scientists able to successfully replicate the DNA of a dinosaur? Doesn't matter which one, but just a generic dinosaur, and then also reconstitute it Jurassic Park style and grow that dinosaur into a living being. Would that be a good thing or not?
Oh, there's lots of things to say about this. So first of all, DNA doesn't preserve well. You're not going to get DNA from mosquitoes in amber. That's just not a practical plan. Protein you could get. So there's a lot more potential for recovering protein. They've recovered potentially soft tissue from some fossils. So think like the kind of the lining of blood vessels type thing, various things. So you could take protein and reverse the process. Instead of going DNA, RNA, protein, you could go protein, RNA, DNA.
Okay.
So that would be a more practical thing to do. You're not going to put frog DNA in. That's just stupid.
So we're not going to have a whole animated sequence with Mr. DNA and where did you come from?
Oh,
probably use chicken DNA. It's
all right.
probably available. They're an avian dinosaur. You know, that's probably what you would use if you were trying to fill in the gaps.
And they are vicious.
So you can read Jack's book on how to build a dinosaur. Basically,
wait, what? This exists?
Yeah, that's what it's called, is How to Build a Dinosaur.
Oh my gosh.
It's theoretical. But anyway, basically, if you wanted a small dinosaur, what you want to do is take a chicken and start knocking out genes so that they don't develop that pygostyle. Let's have a chicken with a long tail instead. We have a lot of capability for genetic engineering, and a lot of what makes a bird instead of a dinosaur is more taking things away than adding things. You don't want wings. You want four limbs. You want something that has T-Rex arms. And a lot of that stuff you could probably genetically engineer in birds. Because it's like, let's not develop 5 digits on the front limbs. Let's only develop 3. We're not going to specify which 3 they are because there's an argument about that.
Okay. So you're saying we shouldn't give them opposable thumbs because then they can take over.
What you've got these 3-digit claws in a lot of dinosaurs, but you've really got very degenerate forelimbs in a bird or very modified. But the question is it 1, 2, and 3 when you get 3 digits? I know I can't get it. There we go. Or is it 2, 3, and 4? Which 3 are they?
All right. Okay. So are you in favor of this idea?
So as long as we stick with something that's small, so chicken-sized, not bus-sized or whatever, and basically keep them in the lab, don't, release them into the wild because that would be dumb, we might be able to answer some questions that we haven't been able to answer. I don't think that there's anybody in any field of science that would say, oh, I don't want to discover this. I don't want to learn more about it. We might say, well, it's unethical and they're not going to have a population. They're not going to have a normal life. The dinosaurs in Jurassic Park obviously don't have a normal life.
In the world's biggest zoo.
But
we should have learned from that movie. We don't want to do that.
Can we do this?
Okay. All right. And then finally, none of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park have feathers, and we've learned that. We have learned since then, and also a bit before then, that many, if not most of them, should have had feathers. I noticed that a bunch of your dinosaur figurines did not have feathers.
So,
why are you supporting the Jurassic Park lie?
Feathers. Okay, you're thinking, let's have nice plumagey feathers like a peacock or something.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
maybe T-Rex and some of your theropods have that, but we don't have that kind of evidence for a lot of other dinosaurs. Some of your ceratopsians, you have quills. You have bristles. These are very proto-feather things. So they're things that are not just reptilian scales, but they're not nice veined feathers like a bird has either.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So the more theropod or even some of the lines that aren't dinosaurs, like possibly some of your pterosaurs or something like that, probably had some fur-like or feather-like structures, but
yes,
you're not going to see your big sauropods or your ceratopsians or something like that having feathers like a bird.
Oh, right, all right.
It would be like saying whales have fur.
All right, I get that.
Yeah,
and
humans have hair compared to other mammals, pathetically so.
All right, and so since and one final question then I have, and May, if you have another question or two, please throw it in there. Dinosaur is a very broad, encompassing term, and you said pterosaurs, not actual dinosaurs, and I'd heard that before, but I've never actually delved deeply into that. Why are pterosaurs not dinosaurs? And also, by that same token, are plesiosaurs dinosaurs?
Okay, so plesiosaurs are not dinosaurs. They're considered to be marine reptiles.
Okay.
All right, so why does that make them not a dinosaur?
They're a different evolutionary branch.
Okay.
So,
I guess I'm just getting thrown off by having saur in like the name.
Yeah, saur is lizard, reptile, which is kind of a misnomer. for a lot of dinosaurs anyway, because they're more like birds than they are like lizards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You've got this path from lizards that have the limbs essentially sprawling. You've got crocodiles that are a little more upright. Crocodiles are really cool. Crocodiles made some of the innovations before the dinosaurs ever did.
Huh.
You've got dinosaurs that are mostly terrestrial. Mosasaurus is like a dinosaur that's pretending to be a croc. I'm going to characterize them that way. Basically, the flying ones that are not birds, so all of your pterosaurs are not considered dinosaurs. It's a different branch. It's a different path that doesn't lead to other dinosaurs and doesn't lead to modern birds.
Okay.
I will say this, and this is probably really random, but as funny as it is, it makes sense. That makes sense to me now because I play Animal Crossing. Shocking. But when you build when you build your museum, there's a fossil area. And when you dig up fossils, the little owl assesses them, tells you all the facts about them. And then if you actually get to a stage of completion, it lines up the different type of animals that appear in Animal Crossing, and it shows the evolutionary path. So if you follow the lines through the museum, it actually shows you what evolved from what. Which is, even though it is a children's game, even though 4 million adults play it, that's why it is a children's game, because it's actually, you click on each fossil section, it tells you all the facts about it. And now that Janine's saying this, I'm like, it makes me say, why is this path going from this, but it shows the evolutionary path of what each dinosaur actually kind of devolved into, and you can trace what dinosaurs or what sea creatures went to what. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I was like, now that makes more sense why certain things weren't leading to other things in my museum. I was like, did they get it wrong?
That's fantastic. Well, and then one final question from the internet, Janine, from Dan Wenzel. The atmosphere contains so much more oxygen from millions of years of photosynthesis at this point. If we did create something by knocking out genes from a chicken, wouldn't that creature just die immediately?
So it's not going to die immediately because the genes that you would be changing in a chicken are not really related to breathing or metabolism as far as oxygen. So,
all right. Okay.
Did you have any questions about field work?
Oh my God, we've spoken this entire hour on just dinosaurs.
I mean, but this was
and then also
okay. We need a part two.
Yes. So yes, we're definitely going to need to do a part 2 for this. So bring you on in another week or two if you have the time for it. So because we are running quite short on time right here. Let's talk. Let's just do a quick primer, 5 minutes or so on field work, if we can do that.
Okay, sure. So I have my pack with me. This probably weighs 20 pounds. I'm going to guess it's 20 pounds in that pack. And that's without my lunch or my sunscreen, because we're not actually doing field work today. So what you would do, let's imagine that you're part of a university paleontology program associated with some university. The first thing you have to do is find a dinosaur, or whatever it is that you're whatever fossil you want to study, collect, whatever. So there's basically 3 ways we can do that. We can go prospecting, where we go out and look for one, and it's a matter of where is the geology right? Where has somebody already found one? And that's a good place to look. We can have serendipity. I'm out walking my dog and I happen to find a dinosaur. That's how they found Walter, who's in the basement downstairs. We have mitigation. So we've got a construction site. We need an archaeologist on site. We need a paleontologist on site in case we run that bulldozer and find the buffalo jump or find the dinosaur or whatever. So one of our crew members was had worked with Paleo Solutions, which is one of the mitigation companies. So we found the dinosaur, and we've decided we want this one, and we can afford to go after it. Then we're going to have overburden to deal with. And so that might be where you're out there with jackhammers. It would be where you were out there with dynamite if you were in the 1800s. And I'm sure our curator Liz is very disappointed that we don't get out there with dynamite. But
dynamite? Just blow everything up.
Yeah, so depending on how much overburden you have and how hard it is, you're probably out there with jackhammers, you're out there with picks. I've done a little bit of that, not very much, but being on the crew, it's hard. Running a jackhammer is hard. And then you get to a point where you're close to the fossils and you can see the fossils. And sometimes you don't have that overburden. Sometimes you have something that's on the surface that you can see. So you're excavating the actual fossils, and some of it is very fine, detailed work. You're out there with an awl, you're out there with little brushes, that type of stuff. Eventually, you get kind of a pedestal around whatever bone you're trying to take out. You put a separator on it. So usually, we've usually used toilet paper. Some people use paper towels. You put the jacket over that, which is burlap soaked in plaster, and you have to cut the burlap yourself. It's not the most glamorous part of the job, but plastering it is fun. So you get that done. You go under it with crowbars and pry bars and various tools and flip it and hope it doesn't break and you don't have something under it that you just messed up. And you've got your jacket, and then you do the other side, the bottom side of it with plaster. Then you have to get it out of there. And this is out in the middle of nowhere. And it's possibly at the bottom of that cliff of overburden you just took off. So sometimes we can carry it out with just people carrying it, working, physical carrying it. You put toe straps on it and stuff. You get 4 people or 6 people or whatever to carry it out. If it's really little, you can carry it in your hands, but a lot of jackets are not that small. You put it on kind of a sled. We actually had pieces of Walter that were big enough. They went and got helicopters and got part of them out with helicopters.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So then you get it back to the museum, and you have to prepare it in the museum. And so that's using air scribes. It's using some of the same small tools we use in the field. Then you have to design an exhibit and put it on display for the exhibit. And most of the dinosaurs you're going to see in most museums, you're actually seeing a cast rather than the actual fossil. They're too heavy to mount that way. They're valuable. And the nice thing with casts is we can put one in our museum here, and we can put one in, museum in England, museum in China, wherever you want. So,
okay. See, my silly bino here were like, oh, look at these bones. Not.
Well, yeah. So there are ways you can tell whether they're the real bones or a cast. But if you really wanted to know, you probably can ask someone in the museum, and they'll tell you.
Also, every one I've seen has always been labeled, this is like a cast, or this is actual bone.
You see like a little whiteout on it, and there'll be a number on it. That's a real bone. That's not the specimen number on a real bone in that case.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh, Janine Rinker, you're going to have to come back and do another talk with us all about fieldwork next time. And I'll have to bring in another paleontologist friend of mine, Gillian Brownlee of the fantastic Scottish band Haggis Rampant. She's also a paleontologist. So she focuses on things much younger than yours, woolly mammoths and whatnot.
Yeah, and we went out and looked at some Eocene turtles during the fall. So it's just dinosaurs are obviously the shiny things, but that's not to say that there's not a lot of other things out there, and even not things that we're studying.
Fantastic. Well, Thank you so very much, Janine Rinker, for being on. Come back, honest to heavens, anytime, because I've been tickled pink. And also, thank you for being a good sport with May and I being professional idiots and just laughing along with us. So my co-host is the amazing, talented, and wonderful Mayhemmer. You can follow her on all the places: facebook.com/may.hemmer, Instagram @themayhemmer, Twitter themayhemmer, and mayhemmer.com. If you want to show her some kind of fiscal love, you can do so by sending her a tip at Venmo @themayhemmer, CashApp $themayhemmer, PayPal may.hemmer@gmail.com, and buy her a cup of coffee at coffee.com/themayhemmer. And I am, of course, your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare. I love you, you love me. There is mutual glorious affection. Please, friends, this month is the final month that the show is going to be simulcast onto 3 different locations, onto 2 different Facebook channels, and also on YouTube. So please make sure that you like and subscribe to the show on Facebook at facebook.com/Shakespeare's Coffee Break. As of the first show after Easter, which I believe is going to be the day after Easter, this is going to be the only location the show is going to be on. It will then be available in repeat on YouTube. But for the live show, this is where it is. Some special shows coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow is Gingerpalooza in honor of St. Patrick's Day. So we're going to have gingers aplenty, possibly 20. Who knows? I mean, not 20. I can't fit that many people on screen. But it's going to be a lot of gingers for St. Patrick's Day. We're going to have Daniel Greenwolf. We're going to have Connor O'Carrig. We're going to have Tim Hartman. We're going to have Olivia Harding. I mean, so many gingers, possibly more. I'm collecting them all the time. It's like Pokemon. Can I just put on a red wig?
Can I just put on a red wig and then
that's what I'm planning. That's what I'm planning on doing. So, Janine, you are also welcome to put on a red wig and show up as well. All right. So, yeah, just anyone. Goodness gracious. Thursday morning in this time slot on facebook.com/Shakespeare Approves, but also youtube.com/Shakespeare Approves, and twitch.tv/Nat21 Adventures, where tonight you can watch Nat21 Adventures, the main show that Mayhemmer and I are both on. I'll be doing Shakespeare's, writing sonnets with Shakespeare. And that is a fantastic fun show. It's the writer's room between you, the audience, and me, your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare, where we craft a sonnet together. We've done it 11 or 12 times now, and every time it's been a delight. On Fridays, we have Shakespeare Reviews, the movie review show I do with Andrew McKee, the Irish bard of Life's Affair. We take movies that are inspired by the Shakespeare canon and dissect them for your entertainment pleasure. Friday mornings at 10:35 on my Facebook channel, facebook.com/Shakespeare Approves. That is when we do our watch parties, and join us for that. And then Friday evenings at 5:35 p.m. Eastern Time, Shakespeare's Shameless Self-Promotion Happy Hour, where we make toasts, sing songs, and just have a raucous good time. This Friday, our musical guest is Matt Young, the Pride of Ireland, who will also be headlining the concert starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Get your tickets now on Eventbrite for Shakespeare's Friday Night Concert Series. It's the last one we're doing before Easter. So RSVP and get your $5 tickets at that URL right there. Screenshot it. This Thursday night, join me and the Zenith players for The Wheel of Shakespeare, Much Ado About Nothing. 10 actors are going to have 10 minutes to figure out what parts we're going to play, what style we're doing it in. Are we using puppets? Is it going to be science fiction? I don't know. Neither do you. Join us Thursday night to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the Zenith players doing online theater. Everyone from their own homes. It's going to be fantastic. And also, I can now announce my very first Renaissance Fair of the season, the Smithville Renaissance Fair in Absecon, New Jersey, April 24 and 25, immediately after Shakespeare's birthday. So it's going to be a great time. So join me there. Social distancing protocols are in effect. Masks must be worn. And I hope to see your shining eyes above your masks there. Unless it's a very sunny day. In that case, sunglasses and then mask. And I will only have context clues to figure out who you are. So that'll be a really good time. That being the case, on behalf of my co-host Mayhemmer and Janine Rinker, our special science correspondent and guest, normally hang out with her in the comments on the show. I am your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare. If you enjoy the show half as much as I enjoy making it, I obviously enjoy it twice as much as you do. And that's called maths. And that's whatever you feel the show is worth. A 1, a 5, a 10. For a 50, I will talk about dinosaurs with you in your front garden, probably getting half of it wrong, but knowing at least as much as a 5-year-old. Please throw it into my hat. By hat, I mean, buy me a cup of coffee. Go to kofi.com/Shakespeare. That's ko-fi.com/Shakespeare. And buy me a cuppa. Also, you can become a Patreon of the arts and support me on a recurring basis at patreon.com/Shakespeare. Tiers start at $3 and go all the way up to $30. And right now, we're still having all the tiers get the same rewards because I want everyone, while money is tight for us, so many of us, to be able to get this, get the weirdness, the silliness, the happiness. And your first benefit, if you're a brand new patron, is this Friday, you get to come to the Friday night concert series with Matt Young for free. Patrons of both the Pride of Ireland and me get to go to the concerts for free. So I do hope that you'll join me for that. That being said, that is all she wrote for today. I don't know what else to say other than I love you, you love me. There is mutual glorious affection, and we will see you real soon. Bye-bye, Internet. We will see you later. Cheers.